Entertainment.
Okay, I'm here and kind of nervous. I guess. Nah, I'm playing. This is the Six Man with Cam. It's been a while. It's been, I'll say, probably about a month since we've had the show, and I mean, the month was well deserved because I mean, you guys seen what happened Monday. We'll touch on that in a second. But for the people that are joining in, that's coming in, this is the Six Man with Cam. I'm your host, Cam Urshery. You can follow us on Instagram at the Six Man with Cam. Find me on Facebook at Cam Urshery. Today, it's a special day to talk a little football. I do have a guest today. We'll introduce her in a second, but it's a special day to talk a little football and just talk about some of the things that's happened around the college football landscape. Last time we talked a little SEC championship. We talked rivalry day week. We talked about all that good stuff, but we never necessarily got to check in on the college football bowl games as far as the Rose Bowl and things like that. But that's all fine and dandy because today is about the Bulldogs, as we see some a couple of people in the comments saying "Go Dogs." We're talking about the Bulldogs today. 41 years, they finally won a national championship, and I've been a Bulldog fan my entire life. I'm 23 years old, and it just feels great, but it's nothing to necessarily brag about because it's taken half of my lifetime to beat Bama. Last time we beat Bama was 2015. We did it again in 2022. 15 minus 23, that's 8. I was 8 years old last time they beat Bama. So, you do the math, but what I will say is this. Shout out to them Bulldogs, though, man. Hey, it was surreal just sitting there watching them win that game and knowing everything that players such as like Todd Gurley and Matt Stafford and No Sean Marino and those type of dudes and Sony Michelle, Nick Chubb to a lesser degree had to go through just to get to like this point in time. And for some of the people that's out there saying, injuries happened and that's why Bama won. I just want to point out the fact that injuries happen to every championship team. There's not a team in the NBA, NFL, college football that has never won a championship without injuries. And for my real Bama fans out there, because one of the guests today is a real Bama fan. She attended Bama. And then I know one of our two childhood friends, he's a real Bama fan. Not a lot of people are real Bama fans, but people that know this, Bama's first national championship, which started this dynasty, was in 2009. That came off of a player getting injured who's one of the best, and he's the most winningest quarterback in college football history, in Colt McCoy. He broke his collarbone at the beginning of that game. And nobody said anything back then when they won. And now everybody has a problem with Georgia wins when their two players go down. And Georgia was injured and missing, I don't know how many players this year. They were missing like 4 All-Americans at one point. So injuries is just a big excuse. Me personally, shout out to Bama, shout out to Bryce Young. You played a great game. Nick Saban, they're going to be back there next year, but I don't want to hear nothing about injuries. Georgia was injured as well. They're missing 4 All-Americans. Tyke Smith, who y'all don't know about, All-American corner. Arik Gilbert, All-American tight end. George Pickens, he was a wide receiver that caught a big pass in that game. He tore his ACL, and he's been going pretty much all year up into that game. And then JT Daniels, he's an All-American. We played with a backup this entire year. Stetson Bennett was our 4th string, and we won the national championship with him. Nobody remembers that because nobody necessarily cares about Georgia. So what I will say is shout out to Bama. They're going to be there next year, but Georgia's on top, man. They're on top right now. They are the reigning national champions, and I just like saying that this is the first team from my hometown, my home state, that has won a championship that I necessarily was like a huge fan of. Yeah, you see the Braves hat, somewhat of a Braves fan, but everybody knows where my loyalties lie. Kind of a Dodgers fan. Um, but as far as football, it's just surreal, and I hope they can keep it going. It's gonna be really hard to beat Bama next year, but yeah, man. But I am here because I do want to discuss all things football. I do want to talk football. I do want to talk college football. And the guest that I brought on today is near dear to me. She's a really good friend, known her since sixth grade. So I guess we was like 11, 12 years old, I guess. And currently she's an associate producer at NFL Films for Hard Knocks. She's doing very, very big things, guys. Obviously, Hard Knocks is coming out this year. I don't know if I can say the team name. We'll discuss that when we bring her on. She's also an alumni from Alabama, so she went to Alabama as well. Everybody, this is my friend Soraya Ponder. What's up, Soraya?
Hey everybody. Hey Kim, what's up?
Not much. I just wanted to bring you on because all I thought about was Alabama lost. So I wanted to come on here and kind of brag to you a little bit, but I'm humble. I ain't gonna say too much because y'all have been kicking our butts for an extreme long time, but you've been getting on me these past couple of years about us, losing. And what I will say is this: we beat y'all, but y'all might get us next year. But no, on a serious note, I want to bring you on to talk about what we talked about pre-show. You went to Bama. You've seen 3 national championships. You've seen your team win over and over again. Outside of this loss, how was the experience at Alabama, just watching them win and watching like a dynasty just continue to this day?
Well, first off, I would just want to say thank you for having me on. Mama and Daddy, I made it. So I would say just it's it's very like as a student, knowing that you're going to get a ring at least 1 year out of your college career is like super huge, and it's like very just it's second nature, and the experience there is so like heartfelt. And I know you guys get to see where Saban's like, oh, the students, they don't, they may not appreciate it, but like those that really love football, we're there. The crowd, the student section, were there. So like the whole experience is just one in a lifetime experience.
Now, I got to ask you this question because I'm a Georgia fan, so I get to see a lot of defensive players come through Georgia year in and year out. But you get to see both. You get to see a lot of really good defensive players, and then you've gotten to see some of the best offensive players in college history. You've gotten to see Judy, Calvin Ridley, Henry Ruggs, Jalen Waddle, the Heisman Trophy winner, who's the most decorated wide receiver in college football history, Devontae Smith. Out of all the players you've seen at Bama, it could be quarterback, wide receiver, running back. Who was the best or most exciting player you got to watch when you was there?
Exciting, I would say. Ooh, this is hard. Um,
Got to
I
give me one.
Jalen Waddle.
Jalen
Reason
Waddle.
is
Okay.
because his how explosive he plays on the field. That's exactly how his personality is. I've got to talk to him, cover him, and so once you really get to meet him, like he's just as explosive. So like his spirit is like everything and more.
And I'm not shocked that you said that because he leads. Jamar Chase was the offensive rookie of the year this year in the NFL, but Jalen Waddle caught the most passes in the NFL this year for a starting wide receiver. And I want to say he's up there in NFL history as like most passes that's been caught by a wide receiver. So that's pretty cool. And I think out of all the Alabama players that came out, he might be the fastest. I mean, I think Rudd's got something to say about that, but he might be the fastest. But I want to transition to this because I wanted to keep the show quick. Because we just wanted to do a 15 to 20-minute show today. I know you're doing a lot of work for NFL Films. You got this opportunity a couple of months ago, and you've taken, the full advantage of all of it. Want to say I'm proud of you, but I gotta know, how is it like just doing that? Like, for one, I want to know who, I know who the team is, but are you able to tell who the team is for Hard Knocks this year?
Yeah, so we covered cults. And so I am the associates producer. And so basically, for those that aren't familiar with behind the scenes media of production, being a producer, I grab clips, and it's basically logging. So I say what's on the show, what's not on the show. I say, oh, I like that clip. Oh, I like that shot. I don't really like that shot. We're gonna hold off on that. That sound bite, yeah, I need that sound bite right there. And so during this journey, it's really have been eye opening and a grind. It's been a grind. I was just telling you earlier today that my schedule changed. I just started day shift. I've been working nonstop, 7 days a week since I got hired on in November. Just to keep this real quick, like I work 7 days a week. Sometimes I wouldn't get off until like 2 in the morning. I would come in at 10 in the morning and wouldn't go home until 2 in the morning the next day. So, yeah, that's how my schedule, my life has been for the past 3 months.
Yeah, I don't think people realize how hard it is to work in the media. It's weird because me and you growing up, we always knew we wanted to do this from like a fairly young age, even when we was like 13, 14. Um, we always knew we wanted to do something like this and get to this. And every year, and I want to say every year since you've graduated, every year that I've graduated since was last year, but every year in our life, we're taking that next step, and you've taken that next step. I have, and we're just trying to, move forward and push forward, and it's a good thing. And I'm just excited for you because it's huge in what you're doing. But I gotta ask you, since you're working around the NFL and stuff like that, I know the Colts just lost to the Jaguars. Poop. I don't know how that happens, but before we get to the Super Bowl winner, because I know we came to discuss national championship, but now you're an NFL girl. You're in the real leagues. You know, I mean, we've been there, done that. College is there. College is over now anyway. We graduated and college football season is over. But you're in the actual big leagues where they get paid the big bucks. Who do you have in the NFC championship? I'll give you the teams. You have Green Bay, you have Tampa, I want to say you have the Rams, the Cardinals, Dallas, San Fran, and the Eagles. Who could you say that you have at least in the NFC Championship?
Okay, so I honestly I have like two teams. Like it's either between these two teams, the Rams or the Packers.
Smart decision. Smart decision. Smart decision. So thing is, if you had to choose between one of these two teams and you wanted them to not wanted them to make the Super Bowl, but you actually think they would make the Super Bowl, who do you think would make the Super Bowl between those two teams? Because if that happens, which I hope you know, it will not happen. It's impossible for that to happen, actually. Especially if the Rams beat the Cardinals this week and Dallas beats San Francisco this week, the Rams would have to travel to Lambeau in the second round. So the only way that would happen, the NFC Championship, is San Fran beats the Cowboys, and obviously the Rams win. But needless to say, in that game, it's going to be in Green Bay. It's going to be probably one. Now, I wouldn't say one. Let me stop. It'll probably be like 20-degree weather up there. It might snow. Who do you think would win? Because Green Bay beat them this year, and they beat them last year in the playoffs. And it's hard to beat a team twice. Clearly, we saw that with Alabama and Georgia. Who do you think would win that NFC Championship?
Um, I want to what I want and what I feel like reality would be are two different decisions. I would like for the Rams to win, but I'm gonna go with Packers.
No, I'm going Packers too. I mean, what your answer is correct in my opinion. The logical thing is I look at it like this. I'm a huge Rams guy because I like Matthew Stafford. He went to Georgia. Obviously, I'm a cheer for the Georgia guy. But when you look at Green Bay, they're the most complete team in the league. They're the best team in the league. And then playing at home makes it really hard to win in Lambeau. So if I had to choose, I'm picking Green Bay all the way because they get a first round bye. And for people that don't know, Aaron Rodgers is playing on a fractured toe. They get a first round bye. After that, they get, they play the next opponent, which will be either San Francisco or the LA Rams, who are both kind of beat up right now mentally too and physically. I just don't know if either one of those teams have what it takes to go into Lambeau, march up there in the cold 15 to 20 degree weather and beat them. So I would go Green Bay too. And then in the AFC, I think that's kind of like self-explanatory. I'm pretty sure you're not picking the freaking Steelers or the Raiders. You got the Patriots there, but I don't believe in them. You got Joe Burrow. You got him, but I mean, in the AFC, who would you go with? I mean, the top two seeds, you have Alabama, Alabama alumni who might come back next week. And Derrick Henry, who's the number one seed, the Titans are the number one seed. Derrick Henry might come back, and Julio the Goat Jones, he's healthy now. And then you have Kansas City. I think it's between Kansas City, Tennessee, and then Buffalo, who's the third seed to a degree. I mean, you tell me.
I have either Titans or Buffalo. I don't even have Kansas. I don't know. It's just Kansas don't give me that feel. Like, I don't know. I can't explain that one.
Yeah, I see some people in the chat right now saying Tampa and Green Bay in the NFC Championship. Boo, Matt Stafford, he sold me out. Hey, I'm gonna put it like this, and I'm gonna touch right back onto what you said about Kansas City because I've had my kind of mild disagreements with Kansas City all year long. Anyway, what I will say about this, as far as Tampa, I would go Tampa, but it's the fact that Tampa is super injured right now, and they don't have a target anymore. Mike Evans I think he's pretty much gone. He's extremely hurt. Chris Godwin, he tore his ACL. Hope he gets better. In a contract year, he tore his ACL, so he's going to have to sign a 1-year deal now. And then we all seen what Antonio Brown did. So they don't have any wide receivers anymore. So you're basically relying on a Gronk whose body's been beat up basically for a long time. For the past 5 years, his body's just been beat up. He has like a 20-mile body. My thing is, I can't pick Tampa if it's just going to be Brady, a beat-up offense, and a depleted defense. And as far as, Joe Burrow, I see Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow goes crazy, but Joe Burrow don't have no playoff experience. And I don't think y'all have realized, like, man, you got to have playoff experience to win. Ask Lamar Jackson. Ask Matt Ryan. Ask those type of quarterbacks. Ask Dak Prescott. Ask all those quarterbacks who have first and second round L's before they got a win in the playoffs. Ask him. Matt Ryan didn't get a win in the playoffs till he went to the Super Bowl. I don't think y'all realize that. Well, not the Super Bowl, till he went to the NFC Championship and played San Francisco. Lamar Jackson, he didn't win a playoff game till last year. He's been to the playoffs 3 times. Same with Dak Prescott. I think he has 1 playoff win. He's been to the playoffs 3 times. It's really hard to win with no experience. I respect Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase, but them boys, they got to wait their time. They might mess around and get a playoff win against the Raiders, but outside that, they're not going farther than that. I see where I got one of my friends in here. He's saying Kansas City and Green Bay. Let me touch on Kansas City because I know you said something about that, Soraya. The thing about Kansas City, like, their offense doesn't look as potent as it used to be. Like, it's not hitting like we know. Like, Kansas City, one thing we knew about Kansas City these last 3 years, the first year they went to the AFC Championship, they lost off of a offsides penalty in the AFC Championship. Then they win the Super Bowl, and then last year they lose. But one thing we could always rely on them is they had a nice offense, no matter what. But now it's the opposite, and the defense is only showing up against really bad quarterbacks. When they play against decent or above average quarterbacks, they tend to struggle. Now, would I go against Kansas City? Nah, I can't even lie to you. I know you said Tennessee and Buffalo, and it could happen. Buffalo could get Kansas City, but I would go Tennessee and Kansas City only because Josh Allen has looked like some poop lately. He's just looked really, really bad. And I mean, you're a Falcons fan. I'm a Falcons fan. Yeah, I'm putting you on front blast too, because if I'm gonna be a Falcons fan, you're a Falcons fan too. I'm not gonna let you get away with that. Josh Allen threw 3 picks against the Falcons, and that's a bad defense. And he hasn't looked good lately. So I would probably do Kansas City and Tennessee, and I'm gonna let you pick your winner between Tennessee and Buffalo to go to the Super Bowl. But if I had to pick a winner right now, I would pick Kansas City to go to the Super Bowl only because Derrick Henry is not back. If Derrick Henry comes back and he's fully healthy and he's ready to go, and they get that first round win and they get his legs up under him, I don't. Hey, I tell you, and crazy thing is, Soraya, my preseason Super Bowl pick was Green Bay against Tennessee. Both of them are the number 1 seeds this year. I actually think that has a chance to like actually go into fruition. I just need Derrick Henry to come back. He's a grown man. So who do you think is going to win between the Titans and Buffalo, though? I do need to know that.
Titans.
The Titans. So you got Green Bay and Titans in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, that's what I have.
So regardless of Derrick Henry come back, you got the Titans going to the Super Bowl.
Yes.
Okay, I'm not mad at that. If they've performed. I see a special someone in the comments say go Falcons. Hey, we're not doing that today. and you know who it is. You know who it is. It's your mama. We're not doing that today. We're not saying go Falcons or none of that. Them boys got to get ready for the draft. That's what they need to do. They need to get ready for the draft and go get them a quarterback. That's what they need to do. But we're not going to touch on that today. But we're about to close it up and wrap it up over here because we're going to get Soraya's Super Bowl prediction and mine. So you obviously said Green Bay and Tennessee, even without Derrick Henry. Who do you have winning the Super Bowl, though?
Oh. That's a hard one. I say Green Bay. I can't bet against Aaron. I can't. I just can't. Can't do it.
Okay. I mean, that's not a bad pick. I think that's my Super Bowl pick. I'm not changing nothing. I said this: if Green Bay is fully healthy, they're going to the Super Bowl. Green Bay's not even fully healthy and they're beating people. I think they don't have Bakhtiari back yet. If they do, they just got him back. And Jair Alexander, who's a top 5 corner, I don't know if he's back, but if he is, they just got him back. So they're getting some guys back. If Green Bay's healthy, nobody's beating them in Lambeau in the NFC. I don't foresee that happening. And if they make it to the Super Bowl, it's like what you said. One game on the line, I got to go Aaron Rodgers. But what I will say is this, because I seen earlier in the comments, my boy said Kansas City and Green Bay. I'm telling you right now, I pay good money to see Patrick Mahomes and Aaron Rodgers match up. And the crazy thing is, the last 2 years, Green Bay and Kansas City have played each other in the regular season. The first year, Mahomes was the one that was injured and got injured against the Colts and didn't get to play. Green Bay won that. And then obviously we know Aaron Rodgers lied about his vaccination. He got suspended one game, and that's when Jordan Love stuck up the joint and they lost to Kansas City. So I would love to actually see those two who I think Patrick Mahomes is Aaron Rodgers' like offspring at this point. I would love to see that matchup, but I think if Derrick Henry come back, I gotta agree with you, Soraya. There's no way I could say, even with Tannehill at quarterback, there's no way I could think Kansas City beats Tennessee. There's no way. But with that being said, I want to say I appreciate you for coming in and stopping by today, because you didn't have to, because we're just 25 minutes in. I do appreciate you. And like I said, I am proud of you because you're doing big things and you're making things happen. You got up and moved out, making things happen. You're paying bills now. You know, you making everybody, your mom proud. You're making me proud. My parents, I know they're watching. They're very proud of you. So for once again, congratulations. You know, we want to see both of each other at the top. We want to see each other at the top. So I'm gonna meet you there. And I know you're gonna meet me there. You already there. So I gotta meet you there now.
First off, like I said, thank you, Kim. Like this, I made it. I mean, it's like mom and daddy, like I'm here. I I just want to say thank you and say hey to my second mama and daddy, our Shuri family. And again, like, we're gonna see each other at the top. I'm proud of you, Kim. You being able to just, do what you do best. Like this come natural to you. So I I'm not shocked. I'm not surprised, not one bit. You doing it. So keep doing what you doing. You motivate me, I motivate you, and that's how it goes.
Vice versa. Hey, what I will tell y'all is, man, look, that's what we here for. It's the six man with Cam, but we always here for good vibes. We come for y'all comments. We come for y'all back and forth and everything like that. Ladies and gentlemen, Soraya Ponder, NFL Films, associate producer for Hard Knocks. She'll be back on the show sometime soon, y'all. But right now, we just gonna let her go and have a nice day. All right, everybody. So just want to wrap this up for the last segment, last 2-3 minutes. Want to touch back on Georgia. Shout out to those national champions, man. They did some big things, for the state of Georgia. That's the one thing I love about Georgia sports. They're not just playing for the team, they're playing for the state, because quite frankly, the state is not used to seeing them win or see Georgia teams win. So when Georgia won the game last night, they won that game not just for Athens and not for just the players. They won it for the state. There are fans like me who I've waited my entire lifetime to see Georgia win a national championship. My dad, my mom and dad, I'm not going to tell you their age, but they're 41. They weren't teenagers when Georgia won. And if they were, they weren't too far, along in 18. So that lets you know how long it's been since Georgia has won. I wasn't born. Nobody in this chat outside nobody in this chat right now was born. Just shout out to the Bulldogs. But what I will say is everybody be humble, because Alabama definitely will be back. Bryce Young and Will Anderson, them boys, there's some bad boys over there in Bama. But with that being said, man, I just wanted to have a short show today. I want to get back in the groove and bring some content back to you guys, because I know it's been a minute, but I'm here. I'm trying to stay on it and be on it. So, like I said, this is the Six Man with Cam. I am your host, Cam Ursher. You can find me on Instagram at the Six Man with Cam. You can find me on Facebook at Cam Alexander Ursher. Yes, that's my middle name. My government is out there for y'all. And then you can find me on Twitter at Cam Ursher. We're going to try to be here every week. New update for the show. Every show will be 30 minutes now. We're not doing hour-long shows. Every show will be 30 minutes. I think that's good for y'all to just sit down, chill, relax, eat something, drink, and just watch the show and just chill out. 30 minutes is cool. If y'all cool with that, let me know. I'm going to hit up some of y'all through text. Y'all send me some text, let me know. But I appreciate y'all for coming out on such short notice, because I just made up my mind today that I was going to come and talk and, hash some things out. But, hey, from now on, at least for the next month, call me Nat Champ Cam, National Champion Cam. That's what y'all need to call me. Hey, I'm out, man. Y'all have a nice day and peace.